All right, what we're gonna use here, I'm gonna use mustard as a binder, regular mustard. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic powder. I'm gonna use a little bit of the chupacabra mix, and of course, killer hogs. And here's the brisket. I trimmed some of it down. So as soon as I put the binder, I'm using the mustard as a binder. Last time I did that, it came out real good. So I'm gonna use that as the binder, the mustard, and then I'm gonna just pat all the seasonings down, and then I'm gonna throw it on the fire. Okay, here it is. So it has a binder and all the ingredients that I used. Again, it was the chupacabra mix, it was garlic powder, and then it was the what was it, hedgehog, the all season. I didn't have the brisket seasoning. I just used the all seasoning, but I didn't put too much of that one. But anyway, here it is, and in a little bit, I will throw it on the pit. All right, welcome back. Today, we're gonna smoke a brisket on the pellet grill. And what I'm doing right now, as you can see, I am putting two different types of pellets. The first one being Pits and Spits oak, pure oak, and the other one is Bear Mountain hickory. So we're gonna put those two. I'm mixing them up, and I'm putting them inside the pellet grill. I'm just taking 1 cup and putting one in, take another cup and putting the other one in, just one by one. It will be an all-night burn, so I have to make sure that it is completely full. Make sure that your hopper is completely full of the pellets. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to put a tray down here to use as a heat deflector with water and place the brisket on top. That was my plan, so I don't get the bottom of the brisket all burned up. And I'm gonna cook it at 195 for 8 hours. And in the morning, when I'm gonna start about 10 o'clock. So by 6:30, that's 8 hours. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna take it off. Okay, here we go. So it is in there now, and you can see the smoke starting to flare up. And we'll come back and check it 12 hours later. Okay, here we are. It is 8 o'clock. I checked the temperature of the brisket. Look at that beauty. Pure beauty, look at that. I checked the temperature. It was 178, so that's good enough. Once it reaches 175, I'm gonna wrap it. And I'm gonna wrap it with the butcher paper. I'm gonna put a little bit of country crock and a little bit of the beef tallow that I have left. Okay, I put the beef tallow on top and let it run down on the brisket. Then I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 teaspoons of butter. Now I'm gonna wrap it and put it back in the grill until it reaches 204. And here we are, have it wrapped. I have a pan under there with a little bit of water and the drippings from the brisket as a heat deflector. Now I'm gonna let it sit in there for maybe another couple hours until it reaches 220. Then I'm gonna put it in a nice chest. 13 hours on the Oklahoma Joe smoker. We have a nice, look at that jiggly brisket. The paper has done its job with the moisture and the bark. Now, what we're gonna do is just slice.
Can you pick it up again and see?
How jiggly it is. It's supposed to be jiggly, it's coming apart. Now, I'm just gonna slice right here. You can see the smoke ring. These are the burnt ends. We're just gonna try one of these burnt ends. Look at this juice. My wife wants to try one of the burnt ends.
Me too.
And so does this girl over here. These are all the burnt ends. Cut this up in a cube. We slice it. Looks like a flapper. And how it just comes apart. Look at that. This is the meaty side of the flat of the brisket. How juicy and tender that is. It pulls apart. These, I don't have a brisket knife, but you can see the smoke ring on the Oklahoma Joe's and the Oklahoma Joe's pellet grill smoker DXL. These are pretty thick slices, but look at that. It's a flapper. And there you go with the burnt ends. 200 degrees for 13 hours. 11-pound brisket. Just set it and forget it.
It's coming! It's coming!
Now this is the side where the fat was. I had to cut it thick because it's just super tender. It just comes apart just like that. Cut it off. What? And this is the side where the fat was all rendered. I mean, you normally don't squeeze it, but you could see all the juice. But this is so thick, but just so, it was so thin. I mean, it just comes apart like if it's thin. But again, Oklahoma Joe's pellet grill, look at that, just, I'm barely touching it, it's coming apart. It's so soft and juicy. That is the rendered part of where the fat was.